Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a recent death at the Red River Gorge is sparking discussion on how to stay safe while camping this summer. And a new program is helping bring preschool to some folks' doorsteps while classes are out for the summer.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are just past 6:30 on Tuesday, July 2nd. Now let's go on ahead and send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
I'm with you, Olivia. Hard to believe. Already not well into July. You know what I mean. Well into 2024, where it's the 2nd of July, and we're looking at the 4th, and Mother Nature may be able to add to that display from a weather standpoint. We'll talk more about that in this half hour. 54, a little off in the distance, but a lot of our visibilities remain at 10 miles, and any fog that happens to be out there will be gone and completely burned off by about 8 a.m. 56 at Manchester, 64 at Pikeville, 63 your way at Moorhead. Dew points still very, very pleasant, but these numbers will be on the rise heading through today slowly, so at least it won't be a shock to the system. A scattering of some clouds just to our west. That'll come into play. Well, hey, you get a free preview of the 7-day. 87 today as we increase the humidity, and then we're close to 90 for tomorrow. More about the timing of the 7-day forecast coming up in this half hour. Olivia, back to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. There was a deadly crash in Laurel County yesterday that closed a road down for several hours. It happened on US 25, about 7 miles south of London. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office was called to the scene around 5 p.m. yesterday. Officials say a 2007 Honda motorcycle was carrying 2 people when the driver lost control. The driver was identified as Randy Schenk, a 54-year-old man from Corbin. He was taken to a London hospital for serious injuries. The passenger, Sherry Schenk, a 48-year-old woman of Corbin, was pronounced dead at the London hospital. The Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team announced in a Facebook page that they found a camper in the Red River Gorge who was not breathing. The man was pronounced dead in his tent by the Menifee County coroner. Jessica Umbro spoke with Wolfe County Search and Rescue about this tragedy and what to do if you find yourself in an emergency in the gorge.
We kind of had to bust out those detective skills to be able to track down where that campsite actually was.
Drew Stevens of Wolfe County Search and Rescue says they received a 911 call for a camper who was not breathing. But when they tried to call the group back,
the reporting party was unclear of where they were actually camping. And the reporting party, in an effort trying to get cell service, continued moving around, which made it very difficult to actually ping their cell phone.
Stevens says there was a delay in finding the group, but the delay did not impact the ultimate outcome. When crews arrived, they found a man dead in his tent. Stevens says an exact cause of death has not been determined, but he says it was not a heat-related death. Stevens says it's important to prepare for any trip to the gorge.
It's always important to know beforehand where you're going and to make a plan. And that information can also be very useful if there were an incident or emergency to occur. Not all trails magically lead back to your car, right? Know that route ahead of time and make a plan, and then maybe make alternative plans just in case that trailhead you plan to visit is overcrowded and you have to switch to a new place.
He says a tragic outcome like the one Sunday is hard for everyone involved.
To our team members, we make there's different crisis sort of resources we make available to them to be able to help them to cope. We're also very thinking about the person's family and their loved ones during this difficult time.
Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
An Indiana man has been arrested in Powell County in connection to a shooting that left a teen injured. According to Stanton police, the shooting happened Monday morning at the intersection of Washington Street and Railroad Street. 2 minors were shot at and 1 was hit in what police believe was a drug-related incident. The teen was taken to UK Hospital for treatment but has since been released. Michael Wilson was arrested and taken to the Powell County Detention Center. In Claiborne County, Tennessee, a convicted felon is facing new charges after police say he pointed a gun in a man's face with a child nearby. Police say two people were putting up a fence when Jeffrey Wilson walked up and asked what they were doing. The victim says he told Wilson to leave and he got upset. He says Wilson started pointing a revolver at him. A witness was able to get the victim's son to safety. He now faces charges including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. A New York man is facing charges after he was arrested in Pike County. It happened on June 22nd. Police received a complaint about a theft by deception attempt at a Walmart. Konstantin Lakidis reportedly asked store workers to put money on a card while trying to give and take money from a clerk. Police say he did this so he could have more money than what he asked for. He was questioned after the transaction was not completed. He was taken to the Pike County Detention Center. Kentucky State Police Post 11 is asking for your help to locate a missing man from Rockcastle County. Police were made aware that 36-year-old Joseph D. Miller has been missing since June 21st. Miller was last seen in the Greenfish area of Rockcastle County. If you have any information, you are asked to call KSP Post 11 at 606-878-6622. Folks throughout the country are still talking about last Thursday's presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and current President Joe Biden. Governor Andy Beshear was asked about the topic yesterday. He says while he thought the performance was not President Biden's best, the governor says he will still support him.
Well, the debate performance was rough. It was a very bad night for the president, but he is still the candidate. Only he can make decisions about his future candidacy, and so as long as he continues to be in the race, I support him.
Governor Beshear has also released the completed 2023 Kentucky Domestic Violence Data Report. When comparing with the previous year, there were more EPOs served by state police, totaling more than 17,000 in 2023. While the definition of domestic violence was narrowed last year, there were still more than 7,700 arrests for incidents involving domestic or dating violence and abuse. Officials say 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men have experienced domestic violence. Governor Beshear provided a statement saying, quote, "It is heartbreaking how many Kentuckians are victims of domestic violence. That's why since day one in public office, I have been committed to working with partners to end this horrific crime, assist victims, reverse dangerous trends, and hold offenders accountable. My administration continues to wrap our arms around victims and their families, letting them know that we are and always will be here for them." We are hearing from a man who wrote a book about his son's incredible journey following a serious crash in 2015. Aaron Williams was just 16 when he crashed on his way to a homecoming dance. Doctors say he died that night before coming back to life. He spent 43 days in a coma, then several months in a wheelchair. Despite all that, Aaron has made an incredible recovery in the past 9 years. He learned to walk again and is currently a student at Morehead State.
This book hurts my heart because it was written at the cost of my son. But people kept telling me, you need to write a book. So I did. It's a thin book.
The book, From Life to Death, the Aaron Williams story, is available now on Amazon. The Floyd County School District is taking preschool to the people, kicking off a new program this month. The district hosted a ribbon cutting for its preschool classroom on wheels yesterday, celebrating a new venture in the district's efforts to provide education in innovative ways. Superintendent Anna Shepard says it is a way to meet families where they are and show them what educational tools await, also introducing programs that are feeding into future students before they are even enrolled.
So many resources that families may not know about. But, you know, if your child's only 3 and you haven't been in a school yet, or you haven't interacted or reached out to anyone, it's a great way for us to let them know what kind of resources we have that we can offer to them.
Educators say this is a great way to fill the gap since universal preschool is not currently an option. Hear more about the mobile plans and how you can be involved on our website. Kentucky's new education commissioner is officially on the job. Yesterday marked Dr. Robbie Fletcher's first day in the role. He has spent the last decade as superintendent of Lawrence County Schools and is from Martin County. Fletcher was approved by the state Senate earlier this year to take over the role. Well, whether you're going to or coming back from a party, stopping by your local parade, heading out of town, or just doing day-to-day errands, holiday weekends are always busy with travelers. Mackenzie Davis is the administrative support specialist with Richmond Police, and she says more cars are on the road and distracted drivers should be something everyone is looking out for. Davis shares how to drive and watch fireworks safely.
If you do need to pull over and watch something, make sure you're in a safe location. Use the shoulders, try to pull off into a parking lot somewhere, gas station, any of those options where you all can step out of the car and watch safely from a distance.
AAA expects more than 70 million people to drive or fly this week. TSA already broke records for the number of people at checkpoints. And we want to remind you that the annual WYMT Summer Blood Drive is fast approaching. The blood drive will be tomorrow, July 3rd from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. The Kentucky Blood Center Mobile will set up outside our station at 199 Black Gold Boulevard. All of those who donate will receive a Kentucky Blood Center t-shirt while supplies last.
All right, you got no excuses because the weather, one, will be good. Yes, it'll be hot and muggy, but hydrate before and hydrate after. Temperature-wise this morning, splendid start to the day. In terms of dew point, this is the reason why it's absolutely splendid. Yeah, scattering some clouds back toward the Cumberland Valley, more so out toward the Louisville. And as we head through today, it's another day filled with sunshine, just not as pristine as yesterday's sky was. It was spectacular in every web camera. We'll see a forecast high as we slowly increase the humidity today, up to 87. A look ahead through the holiday weekend. That's coming up in a few moments. Olivia?
Thanks, Tim, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:43. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. History is in the making as Hurricane Beryl becomes the earliest storm ever to hit Category 5.